Alright guys, so let's have a look at Big Bear. So from its highs, quite a bit of a correction or pullback, however you want to call it. Anything over 10%, it's called, well, correction. So 33%. So a lot of people, when overall market, we know the market is coming down, even Russell 2000, when everything is red and people are running into like defensive stocks like Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, like Johnson & Johnson, people are buying these defensive names. I mean, there's not much of an appetite for risky stocks like these, small caps, right? So whenever you see Russell 2000 red, I mean, it's not a good time to to consider small caps. Personally, for me, again, I'm not telling you what to do. You should definitely know better, of course. I'm sure you know better. But for me personally, I stay far away from risky names. And at the same time, for those people who are saying that is it a good short? Well, I don't short cheap stocks, okay? I don't even buy puts on cheap stocks. It's very rare cases that if I think that company is about to go bankrupt or if they're cooking something, sure, then I will consider, and at the same time I will look for like cheap stuff, like solar stuff last year were very attractive, and I thought maybe some could go out of the business. I mean, I was considering them, and right here, right now, the only stock like I might be even considering to like buy some puts, that would be something like this, Bumble, which is like almost at lows, and it's been going lower and lower and lower, but not Big Bear. So Big Bear, for me, it's still in a correction territory at the moment, and I have pointed out that if stock doesn't hold 750, I would be watching somewhere around like $6.10. And even if it doesn't hold, I mean, we have to watch the $5 breakout. So these are the areas, and this stock we pretty much pointed out right here that whenever volume goes back to normal, implied volatility is going to go lower, IV is going to crush slowly, and again, be careful with the option activity you trade. So for me, options on this stock still expensive. Yes, volume has dropped. Stock has declined 33% from its highs, but it doesn't mean at the same time a buy for me, because I'm somebody who likes to trade breakouts to the upside, because when stock breaks out to a new level that it hasn't tested in a while, let's say 1 year, I mean, there's going to be a lot of participation to the upside, versus if stock has gone down and then right after it tries to go back up, well, there's now a lot of people who might want to exit. There are a lot of people might be holding the bag here, and they're like, yeah, give me a little bit of a uptick and I will sell into it and I will pretty much get out. And these people will put pressure when stock tries to go right back up. And of course, there are different cases where, I mean, you have seen V-shaped recoveries in many stocks, but I'm not somebody who trades the dip or buys the dip, and this is a bit of a steeper dip for me, okay? So if it was something like on an uptrend above its 5-day moving average, sure, I would definitely consider 5-day moving average as a support. But right here, right now, the stock is trading. Is it trading at 20-day or is it below 20 days? So the 20-day moving average. So the 20-day moving average on my chart is this area, $6.50. So you could find a support here too, because it has bounced off these levels. You can see right here when it was making higher high, and it can definitely chop around here, try to drift a little bit, and if they report better earnings, sure, we can see it go push higher. At the end of the day, it's a small cap. I treat it as a small cap, no matter what kind of changes are happening inside of the company. Small cap is a small cap for me. So, which means it's a risky asset, and people have an appetite when overall market is calm. Okay, so 22% short float, 250 million outstanding shares, and a lot of people were mentioning the insiders selling. Well, insiders are not selling that crazy compared to what they have done in December. If you go take a look at December selling, I mean, insiders sold a lot of their shares at $3 and around like $3 below even $3, 250, 3-ish, $3 levels, somewhere around here. They sold like $200 million worth of it. You can go take a look at them where they were selling aggressively at what price exactly, like 242, 220, 250, 360, 420, and the last somebody who caught like this high price was 920 right here, option exercise 1.8 million. So nobody sold at these high prices. So we'll see. This is the insider activity, and whatever the small actions happening right here, I don't pay attention as much unless it's a large selling, then sure. But large selling happened here in October, November at very low prices. If they were aggressively selling at these 8, 9s, then I would say, okay, so they know something and they're dumping ahead of time. Then, but usually they have a scheduled selling schedule, so they sell at whatever the price if they have a schedule, because the selling usually is done by somebody. Sometimes insiders don't sell on their own, I think, but sometimes those trading like Fidelity, all those brokerages do execution for them, but sometimes the insiders themselves sell it. But I don't pay too much attention as long as it's a big selling. Okay, so for me, this stock still in an uptrend, but again, yeah, a bit of a steeper decline, but decline on a lower volume. You need a decent catalyst to get this stock get going. And historically, I talked about on my previous video, the second half of February, first half of March is a bit volatile, and I tend to not pay too much of attention to small caps unless I want to short them. So the only thing I'm buying, I hold a little bit of a put, is Oklo. But cheap stocks like BigBear, no, I'm not interested to buy puts on those because those are very expensive. I need like a higher delta stocks in order to consider it, and I need a solid reason why I'm buying a put, because it's not easy to make money on puts. You guys have to understand, shorting in general is not easy. Okay, if you haven't made money trying to go long stocks, you will probably not make as much money trying to short, because you might get lucky a couple times, but if you don't know the reason why you are shorting a stock or why a certain stock has to go down, then you should practice a little bit with paper trading. Again, this is just my opinion. So I'm watching BBAI maybe sideways to chop around. The longer it hangs out at these levels, the better actually. So even $6, not too bad. But if it goes to $5, then that would be a bit of a too steep of a decline, that like 50% decline. But so far 33, we'll see. But so far that's my update. We will come back to this after earnings report. So earnings not until March 6th. So I'm watching this name sideways, a little bit down move. If it tries to go up, I would expect these people put selling pressure, and I don't think this will fly back up. If it wants to go back up, I have my alert ready, $10.19. Yeah, let me know when it gets there. I'll get a message, then I will join the party. But until then, still on my watch list. So overall market we'll see what happens next week. So today was pretty big option expiration. That's why you saw pretty crazy positioning, volatility high. But again, these videos are purely for entertainment and educational purposes only. This is not a buy or sell recommendation, purely for educational entertainment purposes only. Take care. Peace.